The call came at 11:47 p.m. No name, just vibration against the nightstand. My wife was in the shower, steam under the door, water masking lies. I didn't answer. I watched the phone start again, persistent, intimate. A message followed. You promised you'd tell him. No heart emoji, no signature, just certainty. I sat there, perfectly still. The house felt staged, like a set built around a scene I wasn't meant to see yet. She laughed in the shower, soft, careless. My chest stayed calm, too calm. I told myself it was nothing. Wrong number, work drama, anything that didn't crack the frame of my life. But something shifted. Not loudly, more like gravity changing direction. When she walked out, wrapped in white, she kissed my forehead, water on her lips, eyes avoiding mine by half a second too long. I kissed her back, and in that moment, I understood something without proof, without logic. This wasn't about love anymore. It was about control, and I had just lost it. I didn't accuse her. That would have been emotional, messy. Instead, I watched. I noticed the phone never left her hand, screen angled away from me like a reflex. Her stories changed slightly each time she told them. Not enough to be lies, enough to be rehearsed. She said she was happy. She said it often. Too often. At night, her body faced away from mine, a distance measured in inches, in secrets. I told myself marriage goes through seasons, that trust means not digging. But my mind wouldn't rest. It kept replaying the message. You promised. Promises are intimate things. You don't make them lightly. I checked our bank accounts. Nothing obvious, just careful withdrawals. I checked our calendar. Gaps. White spaces where life should have been. I asked her about her day. She smiled, answered quickly, too quickly. That's when I stopped hoping I was wrong. Hope is dangerous. It makes you blind when you need to see clearly. So I let go of it. I became methodical. I mirrored her behavior, calm, predictable, loving. Inside, I was cataloging everything. Phone records, location history, shared cloud backups she forgot I had access to. I didn't rush. Rushing makes mistakes. I learned his name, then his job, then his weaknesses. I learned how long it had been going on. Long enough for comfort, short enough for arrogance. They thought they were careful. People always do when they think they're smarter than consequences. I hired a forensic accountant, quietly. He didn't ask why. I watched my wife plan a future she thought included me. Renovations, trips, a larger house. $5 million. That was the policy. That was the trust fund. She thought she was winning. She thought she had time. At night, I lay beside her and listened to her breathe. I wondered how easy betrayal had been, how natural. My anger didn't burn. It froze. And frozen things don't crack. They sharpen. The report arrived on a Tuesday. Clean, comprehensive, unforgiving. Dates, messages, hotel receipts. There was no ambiguity left to hide in. I invited her to sit with me at the kitchen table. No raised voice, no drama. I slid the folder across. She opened it, read one page, then another. Her hands started shaking. I can explain. I raised a finger. Just one. Silence fell like a verdict. I watched her realize something crucial. Not that she was caught, but that I had already moved past pain. Her tears came fast, desperate. Mine didn't come at all. I told her about the trust, about the clauses, about the infidelity provision she never read. I told her about the accountant, the recordings, the signed statements. Her future collapsed quietly, like a building imploding inward. $5 million vanished from her reach, legally, permanently. She begged, then blamed, then broke. I stayed seated. "I knew," I said softly, "before you ever thought I did." That was the moment she understood the game had never been hers. I stood, picked up my keys. She reached for me, missed. I left that night. No shouting, no final kiss, just space. Weeks later, the divorce finalized. Clean, surgical. I didn't feel victorious. I felt light. Betrayal teaches you something brutal and useful. Love isn't what gives you power. Clarity is. I don't think about her anymore. Not because I forgive her, but because she no longer exists in my story. And that is the most complete revenge of all.